We'll try to review together today. We'll provide you with a small introduction regarding our organization, XWiki SAS. We'll review together the prerequisites as well as methods we expect you to use to make your documentation last. And then we'll go through some practical examples from real documentation use cases that we encounter while with our customers that are using XWiki. At the end of the session, we'll try to cover the question and answer that you may have during this session. We have also Lorena with us that is helping to handle and collect all the questions you may have. So a quick introduction regarding XWiki. So we are a French-based company with more than 70 employees, mostly based in Europe. We are serving and offering services for many clients through the world, from Université de Lorraine to Lenovo, DESY in Germany, for example. We have over 8,000 active installations, and it's keeping growing. Now, but we've reviewed that quickly. So first point is why we would need a documentation tool. Let's see that with Niku.
Yep. Thank you, Cedric. So why do we need a documentation tool? Well, most organizations don't start with a documentation strategy. Usually they start with pages. Maybe they will have a wiki, they will have shared folders and a lot of scattered documents and emails. Things work fine at first, then you have more and more content, the teams are changing, access becomes more and more complex, and suddenly the documentation becomes quite hard to maintain. It's also hard to trust, and it's also hard to navigate. Documentation tool is not just a place to write. It's a system for structuring knowledge, defining ownership, managing access, and ensuring that the information remains usable over time. When documentation becomes business critical, it stops being content and it becomes actual infrastructure. And all infrastructure needs to have structure, needs to have governance, and also needs to have visibility. And that's why organizations move from simple note-taking tools to real-time documentation platforms. Cedric? And the question is, why use XWiki? Because this webinar is in the context of XWiki. Well, when we say that XWiki is 100% open source, we mean that the core platform is open, the development is transparent, and you're not locked into a proprietary roadmap. You can deploy either on-premise or in the cloud, and you retain in full control over your data. For many organizations, especially in highly regulated or security-sensitive environments, that's really strategic. XWiki is also enterprise ready, and what I mean by that is the fact that it provides granular rights management, it has audit trails, versioning, scalable architecture that is able to take on really big teams, and it's also having clustering capabilities in order to have a high availability. So as I said before, documentation will often become infrastructure, and infrastructure needs reliability because you need to depend on that documentation. It is also customizable by design. You're not limited to predefined page types. You can also define structured document types. You can build lightweight applications inside the platform. You can adapt the workflows, and you can also extend functionality. There are over 900 extensions in the ecosystem which cover diagrams, task management, analytics, authentication connectors, office integrations, and project integrations, project management integrations. And most importantly, XWiki is designed for structured knowledge. It supports flexible page hierarchies, structured data models, metadata-driven navigation, and also a single source of truth integrations. This becomes essential when documentation grows beyond a few hundred pages, right? So when we talk about building a knowledge base that lasts, we are not talking about quick notes. We're talking about long-term architecture, governance, scalability, and flexibility. And this is the context in which XWiki operates. Cedric?
Yes, thanks, Nico. Sorry, I misclicked while you were talking. In this regard, we'll try to review the prerequisites and methods you may want to follow to be able to build this knowledge tool that will last. So first of all, we'll try to review your needs, meaning you have to define them before deploying a knowledge management tool. Because indeed, if the architecture is unclear, the documentation won't last. So first of all, you need to think about the structure of your teams, of your products you are delivering to your end clients, or the organization of your goals, to how you are delivering them through several services, for example. For those structures, you may want to define governance associated to it, meaning how you handle rights. For example, you may want to close or restrict access to some parts of your documentation associated to sensitive data. You may also want to keep it open internally, meaning everyone being able to contribute to the documentation and improving it. You may also need a higher level of isolation between topics. For example, if you have an instance that is available for external users, you may want to make sure that your sensitive data is not leaking outside. That's why we have this example on the right of your screen, explaining and delivering a bit of a set of configurations regarding rights that you can apply. You can also have content that may be delivered in several languages. For that, you must rely on a tool that is able to deliver that kind of content and is the process of translating content. We have at the bottom of the screen an example of page hierarchy that could be used depending on your organization. We can see that it relies on, well, services as well as purposes. So you have to think about that knowledge organization before creating your page hierarchy or creating your subpart of the hierarchy. That does not mean that you won't be able to move it later and that you won't need to move it later, because your organization may indeed move, offer new services, include new teams that will need to be included into your existing knowledge tool. Following that, once you know your organization and what you want to achieve with your knowledge management tool, you need to define the initial structure of your documentation to make sure that it meets your needs. You also will have to enforce contribution and compliance rules, meaning you'll have to make sure that people that need to contribute can do this part of the job. What would help also to keep your knowledge base updated and convenient for your end users is to monitor usage as well as outdated content, because as soon as your knowledge base grows, finding useful resources may become harder and harder for end users. So you must make sure that nothing is left behind, and that may imply users to leave your knowledge base thinking it's useless because outdated. You may also need to define someone that is accountable, or even a team that is accountable for your architecture review, meaning from time to time you may ask yourself if your initial definition of the tool is still the right one to cover your need. And finally, this team or this specific person could be accountable for the improving part, meaning modifying structure, organizing content, and improving it, even if it can be done also by everyone, because a knowledge-based tool must be flexible and allowing everyone to contribute to it.
Yep.
Nico, if you want to share with us the next slide.
Yep. So talking about methods and also best practices. The methods matter. You would like to keep your documentation open internally. More contributors usually mean higher quality of the documentation. You also want to reduce frictions. Real-time editing, interactive content, and using clear templates will help a lot with that. Using metadata consistently with structured information makes search and maintenance way easier. Using a single source of truth, avoid duplication across tools. So if you have everything in one place, automatically things become much easier. And most importantly, you need to allow the architecture to evolve along with your team. Documentation should move at the same pace as your organization. So,
Thanks, Nico.
Thank you.
Now that we've covered the prerequisites and methods, let's see together a few examples of tools that can be put in place to help you reach those goals. First example is this structuring documentation example with XWiki. Thanks to the nested pages versus subwikis possibilities that are offered. Nico, if you want to start.
Yeah, so isolation, we're talking here about nested pages. It is really easy to do this in XWiki. Basically, nested pages are a tree of pages you can create. You will have your main page, and under that main page, you can make children pages, which would allow you to categorize the information under the same subtree. It allows you to keep the data optimal. And basically, if you're talking about a single subject and you don't need to have a high isolation of that, it is really, really easy. So over here in this example, we're having one subpage, and this subpage has 2 children. We can give custom access when it comes to this. So for example, if we want this to be visible and editable only to the admin group, and we also want to have an outside user for that, we can easily do that. Another way to do that, it is to use subwikis, which is a different concept within XWiki. Subwikis basically allow you to have a higher separation between your content. You can have a different look and feel. Over here, we are creating a new subwiki, which will separate your users. If you need to do that, you can have separate permissions. You can have separate configuration, separate teams, and even separate extensions. Okay, it's not just a structure, it's through isolation of the data, if that is something that you actually need. It is something that is quite easily achievable within XWiki. And we are also going to share in the chat a link with this whole comparison between between nested pages and subwikis. Once you have created a new wiki, you can check that everything has gone okay. You can check the logs of that, and once you've done that, you can see in the top of the tree that we have a brand new wiki over here, and we can administer it just like the main wiki. We can come over here and we can install extensions directly over here, extensions which would be separated from the main wiki. So we are going to install on this one, for example, the pro macros, if we need the pro macros, right? And another interesting thing is over here related to the rights. You can set basically the rights of this wiki separately. Maybe you want to have this as a space that is available for the public, or maybe you want this to be something that is available only for your internal people. And you also have the option to configure both, or you can have even more than just 2 wikis over here. You can have multiple ones. So when to use each of them? So you would use nested pages when you just need logical organization. Teams collaborate and they also share knowledge. Content should remain discoverable on a global scale, and you want to have unified search, and security boundaries are not that strict. You do subwikis when you need to have strict security, isolation, legal or compliance boundaries do exist over there. You must have external partners that must not access your internal data, and maybe you want to have a different branding or configuration. Subwikis are powerful, but they introduce a bit of separation. And with this, I think we can go to the next subject.
Yes, thanks, Nico. That's a perfect introduction for the next topic, which is the way you can, once you have your page hierarchy or subwiki set, you may want to restrict the ability to view some content for external users. So let's see that together. Once you have your XWiki instance set, you can go to the rights management. By default, external users can't view or edit any pages. We can uncheck this checkbox that is preventing this kind of behavior, and then we can allow external users or restrict them regarding the ability to view content. So if we have this kind of test page, now I'm connected as an administrator, but if I go into a private tab, I try to reach the page, I'm unable to do it because, well, rights are correctly set. Now I want my guest users to be able to reach this page. I have access to an admin panel into my page where I can set rights for unregistered users, for my page or my page and all its children. Then once it's done, I can go to my page without being logged in, and I have access to my page, which is quite empty in that case, indeed, because it's just an example page. So that's how you can easily offer content to external users without having to handle the installation and deployment of well, 2 kind of knowledge management tools, for example.
Yeah, and I think
it's still for me, this one, Nico. But yes, you can go. You could have gone ahead, but I'll handle it. Thank you. So for this one, now that we have set our wiki, that we are able to deliver content to nearly anyone, there is one simple tool that can be useful to keep your pages and content up to date. That's as simple as notifying someone or, well, getting notification from content you are monitoring, or getting mentions when something needs to be updated. So let's cover that. For each pages and well, page 3, you have access to a shortcut allowing you to set your settings for watching a specific page or a set of pages. So in this example, we are defining that we want to follow as a user all the modifications that are in this subpart of the tree, meaning the first name one, but we do not want to follow any content coming from the blog one. So we can define to block this subpart of the tree. Once this is done, as a user, I can go into my profile and check the settings I've applied regarding notifications. So First of all, we have at the top of the page some granularity granularity option where we can set how often we want to receive those kind of notifications. If we want some details by mail, for example, we can also set settings that allow us to have automatic notifications when you start contributing into any pages. And then at the top of at the bottom of the page, you have access to the notifications that you set just previously. And we can see there that we have notifications for the FOSDEM subpart, but not for the blog part. And you have another access here, I forgot about it. You don't have to reach your profile. You also have a way to access to your notification center with the help of this shortcut at the top of the page. Now, when you are editing a content or when you are commenting it, you are able to notify someone. In this case, I'm notifying myself. I will receive a notification soon, thanks to the tool. I'll have access to the notification itself, meaning a link to the content where I got the notification. I can click on it, that's simple. I can get rid of the notification as well if I want to. We can see that as I am self-mentioning, I'm in red. If I'm notifying someone else, I receive a notification in gray. So that's it for the notifications. Easy and simple way to make users wanting to contribute to some content because they get notifications when a modification is done. Keep them updated because they may need and want to review content that was updated. And finally, allow people to ping someone that has edit rights, for example, to let him know that he needs to do some improvements on the documentation. Then Nico, if you want to cover the change request app.
Yeah. So what to do if you want to have everyone edit the wiki, or if you want to have a public wiki in which everyone can contribute, but at the same time you want to be able to have control on the modifications which are being done. Over here we are going to use the change request application. The change request application allows you to easily define. In our case, we have installed the application. We're going to modify the rights. We're going to remove the edit rights from the XWiki all group. And we are going to have some new UI elements, such as the request of a new page. And you would need to have users which can check whether these pages are okay or not. They can leave comments, they can approve the changes, they can request further changes. And after they're done with the review, they can publish those pages. And that's the moment when those pages are going to appear. What if you need to request, you need to have even more changes done to that? Then anyone who has access to that page, but they don't have edit rights, they can come, they can add their modifications. We have exactly the same workflow. They come here, they explain what is that about. In our case, we have logged in with the administrator because this is the only user we have configured for that. We also have a nice way to keep a track on all of the changes and all of the comments. And after the changes have been approved, that's when those changes are going to be available within the page. The whole purpose of this extension is to ensure that changes are reviewed and approved before they're being published. Hence, there are two main distinct features within the application. So you have the capability to review and approve a change request, okay? And we're calling these users the approvers. And we also have the capability to merge the changes provided in a change request so they are published. And those users are going to be called the mergers. Cedric, if you want to take the next topic.
Yep, sure, thanks. So you showcased quickly how to install an extension. We'll review that a bit deeper. So as soon as you have an XWiki instance set, you have access into the admin panel to an extension manager that is taking care for you of installing any extensions you may need. So you have a search field where you can search for your useful extension, in this case, the change request application that you've just showcased. You have access to some useful information, like the documentation link, where you can find the release notes, for example, the sources, all the documentation associated to installation and then use cases. In 2 clicks, you are able to install the extension. They are coming from 2 main sources, our store of paid apps and the community repository. You have a list of dependencies. The extension manager will take care for you to install all of them. So the purpose of this extension manager is really close to a package manager integrated into Linux, if you know something about it. We have something also that is displayed that is really close to what we got when we could try to create a subwiki, because the subwiki is also including a set of extensions. So you need to install them. And we've seen also that having subwikis is allowing you to have some sort of isolation between the main wiki and the subwikis. So in this case, you can choose to install your extension either on the main wiki and on all subwikis, or have it only on subwikis, meaning you really focus your extension set to the users that are having access to this specific subwiki. Now that we know, and that we know this extension manager, that we know that we can install extensions that can improve the functionalities of a native XWiki instance, we can try to review a set of the main ones that are mostly installed into any public XWiki instance. So we have, first of all, the diagram program that is allowing you to, deliver diagrams to your end users and edit them into their browser. So meaning you have, once again, a single source of truth. You don't have to rely on an external tool to deliver those diagrams. You can modelize your processes, procedures, for example, thanks to this tool. And that means that it can be updated as soon as it's needed. We have also a set of pro macros that is included also in the store, in the Pro Store. For example, we have the example of the PDF viewer pro app that is allowing you to include PDF files or Office files into a page directly. Those files can be stored into a wiki page, meaning once again you store your content and you have access to a single source of truth. We have also, for example, the ability to include, thanks to these pro macros, some interactive content like some recently updated stream, like a user list. We have also the ability to hide or show content depending on the needs of the end users, and that's it. We have also the Task Manager Pro app that is allowing you to handle simple project management if you have to cover this need, meaning you can create tasks, assign them to someone that has an account on the XWiki instance, define a deadline, and then display them in a Gantt chart, for example, or in a card view. We have finally 2 other extensions that are powerful and that we'll review soon. First one being the Open Project Connector, which is a really new one that is allowing you to link your XWiki instance to an Open Project instance and provide, for example, to your end users a list of issues that are open into your Open Project instance. And the Collabora Connector Pro app that is allowing the end users to edit Office files directly into their browsers. So this tool is really convenient to make sure that you once again don't have to rely on external tools, that users don't store their Office files on their local computer or anywhere that you are not able to control. thanks to the XWiki ability to track modifications, also you keep in your instance all modifications that are done on those files. Finally, a short review of extra ones. The URL shortener that is indeed allowing you to share more easily links that are a bit shorter than the usual one to any page into your XWiki instance. The admin tools prop that is allowing you to check your instance health status, make sure that it will be available for your end users, control the overall usage, and try to check logs also to make sure that everything is in order and allowing to deliver quality content to your users. The analytics prop is a useful tool to try to track usage of your instance that's in line with the need to have analysis of the, for example, outdated content or relevant content, meaning you can see who is contributing to your content, the most viewed page, for example. And finally, like many of our tools, you may want and need to associate your knowledge management tool to an external authentication application. This Entra ID prop is allowing you to link your instance, your XWiki instance, to an existing AD header authentication service. So making sure that your end users can connect easily to your instance. Then, Nico, let's switch to the moving page trees feature.
Yeah, let's try to go through this one a bit fast because there are a lot of questions. So
we are late, but that's expected.
Yeah, so moving page trees, it's quite easy in XWiki. All you have to do is to go to your page tree that you want to move. Then you will have to go to the administration. Yeah, you have move/rename tool. And over here you have multiple options. One which is very important is to preserve children. The second one is to create automatic redirects. The automatic redirects will allow, if someone has the page bookmarked, to have automatic redirects when they go over there. And you can choose the location where you want to move this within the wiki. Over here we have selected the route, and afterwards all you have to do is just click OK, wait for the wizard to do its job over there. And once that is going to be done, you can access the new page. We're going to see this very shortly. It can take a bit of time depending on the number of pages which are within that subtree, basically. Okay, and we're almost done over here. It is done, and now basically we can go to the new link and we can check that everything is okay. We have all of the pages, we have all of the children, we can see that on the left side. Yeah, moving to the next topic, Cedric.
Yes, two examples of real-world documentation setups. First being the University of Lorraine, where they have migrated from another tool to XWiki. What is interesting there in this homepage, you can't reach it because it's public. You have several useful links. Sorry, even if it's in French, I think you can guess what all this is about. You have useful links to, documentation regarding the tool, allowing users to get used to it and know how to use it. There is a direct link at the bottom to request for help if needed. There is also something that is hidden there, but an FAQ entry that is allowing also users to get answer to most commonly asked questions. Let's also switch to the next one, which will be microchip. Nico?
Thank you. So microchip is actually not a client of XWiki. This is a wiki that we found in the wild on the internet. It's a quite good looking wiki, and what we did notice is the fact that The layout of the wiki is quite nice. On the left side, you have really nice organized topics that you can expand. And then on the right side, they have added some custom panels that allow you to get information and help much easier. Overall, it's a nice example of default XWiki instance being used in a very nice way to do documentation. Talking about source of truths.
Yep. You wanted to add something, sorry?
No, we can move.
Okay, thanks. So I think we are close to the end. We will now review the ability to set multiple languages into an XWiki instance, allowing to have a unified source of truth. XWiki is allowing you to set a default language for your end users and also to offer content in different languages. So once again, as soon as you have an up and running instance, you have the ability into the admin panel to set the default language. That's what we are seeing right now. Then if you want to, you have also the ability to offer several languages to your end users. So let's do that again in the same contents part of your subwiki or your wiki. So we'll set the multilingual option on. We define which languages we want to offer to our end users, and then it's on the instance. Each user have access to a set of languages where he can define it by himself. He can switch between languages, and also if he has rights to do so, he can contribute to the documentation by providing the translation if it was not created at all. Now that we've covered this, Nico, I think you can explain a bit the Collabora connector.
Yeah. So the Collabora Connector application is integration of the Collabora online software. It provides the ability to edit collaboratively XWiki attachments. As we can see over here, we have this presentation that we've opened directly from XWiki. We're able to do modifications, like editing over here the document's title. And basically, after you're done with your edits, if you close, you're going to be warned that you have to save first. And after you're done with modifications, all you have to do is save and then close the file. One nice thing is the fact that we have file versioning, so you can always go back to a previous version or to consult a previous version of the same file. And even more interestingly is the fact that you can create documents from scratch within Collabora, and you can use any type of document that you want. You can have Word/RTF files, you can have Excel/CSV files, and you can also have presentation files. And it's overall allows you to create on the fly the pages, and you can save them as attachments. If you're interested in this application and you'd like to learn more, we're going to share a link to a previous webinar that is focused on this topic, so that Collabora team can discuss with you guys. Okay, moving on from here.
Yep, thanks, Nico. Last but not least, the Open Project Connector. So we've seen that we have the task manager that is offered through the props, but if you need to handle more complex projects, or if you already have a project management tool, that's an interesting option to create links to those existing issues and tasks as well as milestones. Let's review that quickly. I think I'll skip directly to the overall presentation because it's more clear. So you'll have the ability to display the issues that are created into the Open Project instance on a live table or in a card view. Once again, the objective is to keep a single source of truth. If people are interested, we are dropping a link to the webinar we had and we hosted with our partner Open Project. I think we've covered everything that we wanted to. Let's now most probably switch to the Q&A session. I'm switching myself to the list of questions. Please keep in mind that you will send answers to questions that may not have been answered during the session because we may be short on time, seeing the actual hour. Let's start answering questions if we can. I'm scrolling a bit.
Okay. Should I take the first one, Cedric?
Yes, you can if you want. Okay, you are scrolling through the notes, that's it?
Yep. So okay. First question is how XWiki stores its information. Is it through database, plain text markdown? Is it easy to export? So it's basically a two-part question. So basically it's both in database and you also have a directory where we're keeping attachments and things like this. When it comes to export data in XWiki is quite easy to export. We have XAR exports, which allow you to move your data from one XWiki instance to another quite easily. And it is quite easy to move that from XWiki as well. Yeah. Do you want to take the next one?
Yeah, sure. So how does using several subwikis impact updates of XWiki and install extensions? So that's indeed a good question. XWiki comes with what we are calling a distribution wizard that is allowing you to go through the extension upgrade process after a system upgrade. That means also that as you have isolation between subwikis, you need to go through this distribution wizard for each subwiki. But we have the ability also to handle this through a scripting tool that will be able to handle the distribution wizard for you. I think that covers the question. I'm reading quickly the next one.
Yeah.
You want to handle it?
Yeah, I can take this one. So is there a way to integrate .md files within XWiki page structure? So XWiki has an extension which is called Markdown Syntaxes. It supports Markdown Syntax 1.0, 1.1, Common Markdown Syntax 1.2, and also GitHub flavored Common Markdown Syntax 1.0. So I hope this covers the question.
Yeah, you have to activate the syntax, as far as I know, into the page once you have installed the extension. Thanks, Nico. I will try to cover the next one. If you install a paid extension only in one subwiki, is the price calculated based on the users in that subwiki or based on the users in the entire system? So the short answer is it's based on the entire system amount of users. So that's part of our paid model. I'm reading quickly the next one. Is such a issue view also available for self-hosted GitLab issues? So for now, no, we don't have any connector for GitLab. There are ways to request those kind of contents. I think we have a simple extension that is allowing to retrieve some content from an external source. I can't remember the name for now, but anyway, as soon as the tool has public documented APIs, it's possible to develop over XWiki to allow to have those kind of integration. So either you are able by yourself to develop this tool, either you can try to sponsor this feature because now we have this base for any link to an external project management tool. So that would be faster and easier for us to implement this support.
Yeah. Moving on to the common. I see the word space in some XWiki documentation pages. Does XWiki support spaces such as in Confluence? So that's actually quite a common question that we're getting. The answer is both yes and no. So in XWiki, content is, as we presented earlier, XWiki has two ways of having the content. You can either use the subwikis, or you could use basically the nested pages. The nested pages are not a one-on-one implementation as in Confluence, and I don't think we're going to have that. However, you can give admin rights to a certain part of your subtree and have a similar effect to what you have in spaces in Confluence.
Yeah. Side note maybe is that we are using the term space because it's convenient and meaning what it means, but in fact, technically speaking, we don't have the notion of space exactly the same as in Confluence. Thanks for the explanation, Nico. Other ways to monitor outdated content, planning plus push notification. The easiest way I know to do that is to rely on the review pages application, that is a community one. I have a link there. I think I may be able to paste it in the discussion. Maybe, I don't know if it's a good idea. Anyway, you'll have it somewhere, and we provide it. I will provide it in the answers. So yes, we have this ability with this extension as well. Let's go for the next one. I can read. Let's see if you want to answer, Nico. How can I achieve a similar restrict page concept for subpages equally to Confluence without giving every user admin rights for a wiki? But may not be clear in our presentation because we didn't cover everything. It was not only focused on XWiki, but you have the ability in XWiki to set rights at a page level. So meaning when you define rights, by default, you define them at the higher level, meaning at the wiki level. Those will be applied by default. Then on any subpage of your tree, you have the ability to define overrides that will override them. So that means that you'll be able to grant a specific view or deny specific rights to any other users. Side note, regarding your need for admin rights, in XWiki, admin rights can't be denied, meaning if by default some users are admin of a subset of pages, you can't deny this right to your admin users. So if you are thinking about a use case you get from Confluence, there is a bit of difference with Confluence, meaning admins of any pages will keep those rights in any cases. I think we can go to the next one. What about search and subwikis? Is it possible to search through all subwikis at once? Nico, if you want to answer, maybe?
Yeah. So over here, what I can tell you is that not by default. I do know some clients which have done customizations to XWiki in order to allow this behavior. As I was saying in my presentation, usually using subwikis means that you want to have a deeper separation of the content. So that's why it's not enabled by default. But if that is an actual need, it can easily be done with a bit of tinkering.
Okay, thanks, Nico. Then the next one, does XWiki offers an MCP endpoint? So the short answer is no at the moment. So MCP endpoint, maybe not everyone is knowing what is that. It's a commonly known and defined way to interact with large language models. So we have an ongoing extension, well, still in beta stage, which is the WISE project, that is already allowing to have a certain level of integration with an LLM that you are already owning or deploying. For now, there is no short-term plan to allow this MCP development because it's still a big work on our side. But indeed, we are thinking about it. It's just that for now, we do not have a real plan because, well, we need to find someone that may want to sponsor this feature because, as usual, XWiki SAS is trying to develop features that are useful to end users and that are sponsored by them. Thanks for this question. Let's read the next one. Is it also possible to show calendars from a CalDAV server like MS Exchange and dynamic ICS files like from Indico? I'm not knowledgeable about every tools. So to my knowledge, thanks to the Calendar Pro application, we did not showcase it. We have the ability to display some ICS files. But there may be some limitations, meaning will it be updated? I think it will be updated right away. So yes, you have at least partially the ability to do that, but as I don't know the exact limitation or definition of the MS Exchange, for example, CalDAV server, I'm not really sure. So for ICS, I would say yes, with maybe some limitations. For CalDAV, I'm quite sure we can't, in fact, because to my knowledge, we don't have the support for this CalDAV feature. Nico, you may have extra information.
From what I remember, it is possible to subscribe dynamically from your Microsoft Outlook and to have it displayed dynamically, but I'm not sure about Microsoft Exchange and Indico. We will do more research and give a more thorough answer afterwards.
Yes.
We
have also the SharePoint extension that may be of some help, but I have to dig into it also.
Yep.
Yes,
I guess we have time for one or two more questions before we're going to close. If your question is not answered during this live Q&A, please don't worry. We are going to go through all of the questions which are coming. If you missed this webinar or you couldn't stay over here, you can also send us more questions via email. Okay, so I'm going to continue with the next questions. Are there ways to open parts of the documentation also for public as a product handbook? Yes, it is totally possible. It is something that Cedric was showing. You can have all of your wiki, for example, closed, and you can have like a set of your pages to be open for everyone, or you could have like a separate subwiki that it is public. Yeah.
Thanks, Nico. Yeah, I hope it was clear. Sorry, maybe I was too fast for this topic.
And is there a way to migrate wikis from Redmine to XWiki without losing relations and images? Considering that Redmine is
you have a separate feature in Redmine that is a wiki as far as I know. So for me, we have no native feature to import content from Redmine, but depending on the format of the export you have from it, we have an extension that is able to what is named filter stream, that is able to import nearly every content as soon as you are able to describe it into the, thanks to options into this filter stream extension. So that should be possible depending on the quality of the export, on the type of the export, and on your ability to dig into the tool that is named filter stream. Last one maybe, or do we stop there?
Let's take one more and we can close it. So, is it possible to move all of the attachment files in one click instead of moving them one by one? Is there an extension for that? Cedric?
That's a good question. So first of all, you must know that in XWiki, all attachments are associated to a page. So that's something that is mandatory. So every rights, every settings, location of the So the attachment is associated to a page. So moving a set of attachments as soon as they are associated to the same page may be easy because you just have to move the page. But that may not be the exact question you are asking. So from my point of view, no extension for that. It can be done by scripting capabilities because you can deliver some scripts onto XWiki. We have a public repository for that, which is called snippets.xwiki.org. I can share it as well. So you may not find everything that is needed for that is covering your need, but you have a set of scripts that are offered by the community in most of the cases. Coming back on your topic, so yeah, my answer is that, well, it really depends on what you are expecting. It's not something that we are really meeting that often because, in fact, for example, if you want to display an attachment into another page, you can do that with the view file extension. You can display an attachment that is not stored into the page you are writing that. So you may think of that need, thinking you have some limitations regarding attachments, but you may overcome them with the functionalities that are offered by XWiki.
Thank you for that, Cedric. And with this, we thank everyone who took the time to join this webinar. We hope that you found it useful. We will come back with the rest of the materials and with the recording for this. Thank you, Cedric, again for agreeing to
this webinar
with. So yeah, have a nice evening. Take care.
Thanks everyone. Enjoy XWiki if you can, and we'll hope to provide you soon all the answers that you are expecting. Thanks, Nico. Bye.
Bye-bye.